Hey,
Hello,
good
guys.
evening, everybody. My name is Darren.
My name is Steven.
Good evening. We are the Bitcoin Meetup Group. We are here today on March 18th, Wednesday. We meet up once a month on the third Wednesday of every month. We meet up in Teterboro, New Jersey at BJ's Brewhouse, directly across from Teterboro Airport. So if there's anything that you'd like, any content you'd like to come join us, we're two blue-collar guys just wanting to discuss how Bitcoin works.
Don't forget what time. From 7 p.m. to 8 p.m.
That's why he's here. He knows the time.
Yeah.
So good call. So sit back, enjoy, and certainly if you'd like to join us, please reach out. We'd love to have you here with us and talk about just the basic overall, whether you're a novice or whether you're a Bitcoin expert, please feel free to come join us.
We're not experts here. We're still beginners. We're still learning.
We're still trying to figure out, how Bitcoin works and what it is. So what we're going to do is we're going to just go over some Q&A, some questions and answers, and hopefully put some good content together for everybody. And let's see where this goes. So go ahead, start off, Steve.
All right. Right now we got 10 topics we're going to talk about.
Cool.
First topic we're going to talk about, what is Bitcoin?
What is Bitcoin? Wow. I always thought Bitcoin was a peer-to-peer processing payment. And, if I wanted to send you money without having to go through a central bank, like most people do, they go through your Wells Fargo or your Bank of America.
Traditional bank.
Right. I wanted to be able to just send you $20 for whatever it was. So to me, initially, that's what Bitcoin was. Now, since then, it's morphed into something a lot bigger. I started getting into Bitcoin around 2019. What about you?
I was buying Bitcoin, I say 2017.
2017.
Roughly. But just little chunks. I didn't know anything about Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I was more invested in XRP at the time. But, I was putting in $20 here, $10 there.
Yep.
But I never expected to be what it is now.
No, and I think that's the content that we want to bring to the viewers here, is that we never expected it to be where it was. I started, just like you started with XRP, I started with Ethereum.
Ethereum is good.
I still own a little bit of Ethereum. So, but getting back to Bitcoin, Bitcoin is basically digital money.
Digital gold.
Thank you. It's digital gold. He's correct. It's digital gold. And it's morphed into something a lot bigger than what I had anticipated it to be back in 2017, 2018. So these are the topics that we like to talk about. We like to give feedback, and we want other people to join us. So any other thoughts on what Bitcoin is, Steve?
Bitcoin is the future, honestly.
Yeah, you're right. Yes, absolutely agree.
It's not given its true value, its true potential. It has, right now, like they say, Bitcoin is like the internet back in 1992.
Great analogy. Great analogy.
So right now, we're still in the beginning.
Yeah, I agree. I think Bitcoin right now, where it is equivalent to where America Online was back in 2000, 2001. Nobody really knew what email was or, what the World Wide Web was. So I think we're in the very early stages of this. But yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly that Bitcoin is digital gold and without a doubt is the future.
All right.
What else?
Topic 2, why people don't trust banks anymore.
Wow, big one. I know for me, why people don't trust banks anymore is they rein in so much control over your money. There's so many things that they can restrict you with. I don't keep any money other than what I need to pay bills with. I don't keep any money in the bank because, they want you to deposit money, but then they're going to turn around and lend it out to other people in the form of credit cards and car loans and student loans at 18, 19, 20. What are credit card interest rates now?
Easily going to hit 18 to 28%.
Yeah, I've seen them as high as 29, which is, I don't know how they get away with it. So the banks have been robbing people blind since, J.P. Morgan Chase started the banking industry back in the late 1900s, in the early 1900s.
Right.
I just don't trust banks, and a lot of them are starting to, move the needle a little bit towards digital currency, and, they don't want to admit it, but they're slowly putting on the balance sheets Bitcoin.
They are, yeah, of course.
Yeah,
certain banks already do.
Yeah, they don't want to admit it, but a lot of the big banks, J.P. Morgan Chase and Bank of America, they're all putting it on their balance sheets.
Let's talk about the full card. Since we're talking about the banks, right?
Yeah.
What does the full card do?
The full card takes Bitcoin and digital currency to just another level. You can do so many things with the Fold card. If you use a debit card right now, there's no reason why you shouldn't have a Fold card in your wallet as part of your financial asset arsenal. It really enhances your ability to buy Bitcoin, to gain access to it, to basically run your day-to-day finances, even as something as simple as going to buy a fast food place. The Fold card has started to become a real good asset, but I want you to build on that as well.
It's the card that I use every day for the past, I just actually downloaded like maybe 7 months ago. So every transaction you do, you get a percentage back on Bitcoin. You know, certain transaction you do, you get 1.5 back, you know, and also you could buy gift cards out of it. Give you back 3% back on your fuel.
Every day you get an opportunity to spin a wheel that gets you sats, which we're going to get to in a minute. We're going to get to what sats, how they benefit from them. But Steve is actually the one that introduced me to the Fold card and got me involved. And this is why we started this group, because we want to be able to learn from one another. I really didn't know much about the Fold card. Steve has educated me because I was completely naive on it. And now I'm
and it's so funny because I came to this meeting because of him.
See?
He's the one that set up this whole event.
You see the power of having close friendships and learning from other people. This is what we want other people to get involved with so that we could all learn as a community. So again, if you feel like you want to come down and join us, by all means, come down to BJ's Brewhouse, Teterboro, New Jersey, third Wednesday of every month from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Yes, sir. Our next topic will be what are stacks?
What are stacks? Good segue.
And why stacking matters.
Why stack? You know what? For me, I didn't learn too much about sats until Steve kind of came along and taught me about the Fold card and understanding sats a little bit better. But sats are going to be very important to pay attention to going forward, because at this point right now, we're sitting here on March 18, 2026. It's almost virtually impossible to buy one full Bitcoin at this point. It's hard.
I mean, it is possible. You need to have, right now as we speak, $74,000.
Yeah, $74,000
to purchase one Bitcoin.
To buy one. But you could buy sats for as little as $5, $3, $10.
So one Bitcoin is considered 100 million sats. So that's the number.
Right, good point. One Bitcoin is 100 million sats. So that would make one sat
like less than a penny, like 0.0001.
Yeah, right. 0.0001. Right.
Yeah.
So, like right now on Fold, I think I have somewhere around 1,300 or 1,400 sats.
That's good.
Which is $1, which is free money.
Which you got off the spin.
Right.
The spin you get every day. Every 24 hours you get a free spin, and that free spin gives you automatically free sats.
Yeah, and I built that 1,300 or 1,400 sats because of Steve and him educating me. And granted, it's only worth $1, but still, at some point, as Bitcoin continues to rise as we go on, those sats are going to be worth a lot more money.
I agree. And
it is.
They're predicting Bitcoin to be, what, $500,000 by the end of what, 2029?
2029, it's going to be, you know, we're only like 4 years away from that. I truly believe that Bitcoin is going to, at some point, skyrocket.
It is. I agree it's going to hit the millions.
It is. It's not a matter of if, but when. And get in now, get your sats, whether you have $1 or $1,000 or $5,000, get your sats in now. So there's a lot to be said about sats, and I know Steve is pretty educated on that.
Not pretty educated. I think we both, beginners at this. We're still rookies. I don't know much. I know the basics.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah, you and I both, and that's why we encourage other people to come down and talk with us. Maybe you have something to, provide, and we can educate you, and you can educate us. But what's the next topic?
Before we end here, I'll put a link on the Fold card underneath the subscription.
There you go.
So you can just link on it, and you have access to Bitcoin. There you go. So, all right, number 4 is how you buy Bitcoin.
Another good one. How do you buy Bitcoin? Well, there's a lot of different ways in which you can buy Bitcoin. I personally started off by just going on a Coinbase account. Pretty much you can go on a lot. You can go on Kraken, you can go on crypto.com. Robinhood is another good one.
That's what I started from. I started buying Bitcoin from Robinhood, actually.
Did you? Was it Robinhood? I started on Coinbase. And again, it was just little amounts. You don't need $1,000 or $10,000. So Bitcoin, so many different avenues in which it's accessible now to people. Like just your average blue-collar workers like Steve and I can do it. Anybody can do it.
It's a funny thing because I was buying Bitcoin, like I guess a few years now, but I wasn't buying a lot. I was buying the basic.
Me too.
Recently, Robinhood, you have access to transfer your Bitcoin over to any account you want, which is when it comes to cold wallet. I think a few months ago they gave me access to it because I live in New York City to be exact.
Right.
And at the time you couldn't transfer your Bitcoin over.
Yeah, there was some restriction.
It was very restricted.
Yeah.
So like I think a few months ago they allowed us to do it. So what I did right away when they gave me access, I put all my Bitcoin into my cold wallet. Everything, I did everything. Even my XRP, my Ethereum, or what I have, I put in my cold wallet.
Perfect. Yeah, and that's another great thing. We started putting money we took it off the exchanges that we have and put it into what's called a cold wallet. We'll probably get into that in another section, but that's a whole nother security way that we'll get into in another point. So, stay tuned for that. That's going to be a good one.
Yeah, that's going to be a great one. Number 5, is Bitcoin safe or a scam?
Is Bitcoin safe or a scam? There's a lot of people out there who they truly believe it's a scam. It's a Ponzi scheme. It's a pyramid, and I think that comes from simply, an uneducating. Me personally, my belief is it's 100% legit. I have no reason to believe that companies like even governments, are putting it on their books. There's so many valid reasons to believe that this is a great opportunity. I personally do not believe it's a scam. No. What are your thoughts?
In the beginning, I did. And then, slowly but surely, I became more knowledgeable when it came to Bitcoin.
Right.
Started doing my own due diligence. And I just started noticing that Bitcoin is the key. It's the way out.
I agree with you wholeheartedly because there's no better way that you're going to find to put your money in a place where you're going to have a huge amount of appreciation. Now, don't get me wrong, and let's also make sure we say that this is not financial advice.
Definitely, yes, absolutely.
We want to make a quick disclaimer. This is not financial advice. This is not accounting. Seek out a CPA or a financial planner. This is just two blue-collar guys that are talking about what we experienced with Bitcoin. So this by no means is financial advice.
Sure.
So there's our disclaimer.
Yeah. What is a scam? It's your traditional bank system.
Yes.
That's a scam.
The fiat dollar,
correct.
We are now in what, $38 trillion of
Forget
debt.
about it. I lost count.
How can it continue to survive and support itself? It's just mathematically it's impossible.
Just know that if you have your money in a bank system, you're losing value every year. What is it? 2 to 5%?
Oh, at least.
A year?
Yeah, and then you got to factor inflation in on top of that as well. So you factor in the loss of the fiat dollar, inflation. How many things go up? 5, 6, 7, 8%. I don't know about you. My utility bill went up 20% over the summer. I didn't get a 20% raise, that's all I know. But my utility bills in the state of New Jersey, I live in New Jersey, I use PSE&G, they went up over 20% utility rate. And anybody that lives in New Jersey and has PSE&G, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So the fiat system is completely, it's dead.
Corrupt.
It's dead.
Number 7, Bitcoin versus cash.
Wow.
There you go.
Bitcoin, unfortunately, we're in a system right now where you still need cash.
You still need fiat, unfortunately.
You do. You need cash. You need your debit card. You need your credit card. But there's going to come a point, everyone, where I don't know if it'll be my generation or not, but
it sure will.
It's coming. I hope it is, because I've got a lot to teach my kids and my grandkids about fiat and Bitcoin and digital currency, and I lean more towards, I've really taken a lot of time to educate myself and do my due diligence in the past couple of years, and I know Steve has, because he's already taught me quite a few things. So educate yourself, do your due diligence, educate yourself. Don't just rely on one source of information. Don't just go to mainstream media. Look around, go to some of the other places where you can get some good information, and just educate yourself on how digital currency works, how Bitcoin works, and you'll see for yourself that what we're talking about here, we're on the right track. So what else we got?
What happened if you lose your Bitcoin? How can you lose your Bitcoin?
So the number one way that a lot of people lose their Bitcoin, or any cryptocurrency for that matter, is when they're transferring money from, let's say, one person to another person. I may put the wrong address information to Steve.
You're going too fast. Let's talk about first thing. You'll be hacked.
Yeah, okay.
Coinbase is not safe. Robinhood is not safe.
Good. Yeah, okay.
These platforms you have your Bitcoin that you buy your Bitcoin at is not
Yep.
safe. This is why we need cold wallet.
Very good. Yes,
You know?
exactly. So yes, it isn't safe on an exchange. Unbeknownst to most people that, they think that because their crypto or their Bitcoin is on Coinbase or Kraken or whatever it is,
It's not your key, it's not your coin.
perfect. That's exactly right. You'll hear that as you start to educate yourself more about crypto and Bitcoin. Not your keys, not your coins, not your crypto. It's just not. You got to have your own keys. So that's the number one way that people lose their Bitcoin is because it gets hacked. They don't realize, maybe they click on a link, they think,
Or
right?
not just hack. If the platform goes south,
Yeah,
it goes bankrupt.
Yeah.
You're losing your Bitcoin.
yeah.
You're losing your whatever you have on that platform. You're losing it.
I've heard of stories where people who are on Coinbase being the largest, digital currency platform that's out there. I've heard people who have lost their money on there.
Yeah.
And
So
because
do
they're bigger doesn't mean better. Remember that. Just because they're the biggest, baddest one on the block doesn't mean they're the best. So make sure that when we're going to get into it, when you get into a cold wallet, that'll be the next time.
That'll be next time. Number 9. Can Bitcoin make you rich?
Absolutely. If I didn't think that Bitcoin could make me rich, not only rich, I want to use the word provide me with financial freedom. That's why I'm in it. Could I made it
Sovereignty, right?
Thank you. That's the word. The key word there is what he just said: sovereignty, financial freedom. It's not about being rich or being wealthy. It's about being able to do the things in life that you want to do without having to worry
By
about
controlling your own currency,
money. Right.
pretty much.
Yeah. If I want to go out to dinner with my kids or my grandkids and not worry about money, that's financial freedom. So do I believe Bitcoin is that avenue? 100% I do. I wouldn't be here. I'm committed and convicted to, my conviction to Bitcoin is beyond belief, and I love it. I think it's a great investment, and I continue to learn. We're just novices. So
Yo, we still here. We talking about Bitcoin once a week, right?
I'm a voracious reader, and I read everything about Bitcoin, and I've heard the good and the bad, and you know what? To me, there's a lot more good than bad. So, for me, yes, you can get rich.
For me, absolutely.
All right.
Number 10, the future of Bitcoin.
The future of Bitcoin is massive. Do not miss this opportunity.
Would it replace money?
Eventually, yes. I wish it was tomorrow. I wish it would replace money tomorrow.
Will the government fight it?
I think they're putting on a facade that they're fighting it. In my opinion, I think there's a facade that they're fighting it.
They want to control it.
But deep down, they're acquiring it very silently. And when they acquire the majority of it, then they're going to come out and say, okay, it's good for everybody else. So
Where's it going in 5 or 10 years?
I think in 5 to 10 years, we're looking at somewhere Bitcoin being around, in 2030, I think we're going to be somewhere around the $500,000 to $750,000 range by 2030.
And that's conservative.
And that's conservative. Yeah, I like to be a little bit on the more conservative side of things. And if it goes up further, man, I'm great. If it goes up to $1 million, well, then I was a little too conservative. But just being conservative, we're looking at somewhere between 500 to 750,000 by 2030, and then who knows? Don't forget one important thing that happened about a week ago, guys. The 20 millionth Bitcoin was mined about a week ago.
Yeah, right. A week and a half ago, you're right.
Yeah.
So that means you have 1 more
Scarcity.
million of Bitcoin to be mined.
Scarce. Think about it. Supply and demand is what drives prices up. The more demand and the less supply, the more the prices is going to go up. So think about it. We're here on March 18, 2026. About a week or 10 days ago, the 20 millionth Bitcoin
Was mined, yep.
Now, how many Bitcoins are there altogether?
21 million.
21 million. We got one more. We know what's going to happen when the 21 millionth Bitcoin is finally mined. Granted, it's going to be quite out in the
They're
future.
predicting it to be 2140.
Yeah, it's going to be a way out there, but that's when people are going to go, man, I should have bought.
That's gonna be too late.
I should have bought it. I should have bought Bitcoin in 2026.
Or even 2027, 2028. We're still too early. We're early, man. You don't understand how early are we.
So in closing, everybody, just remember that Bitcoin is scarce. There's a finite amount. Unlike the United States dollar, or even some stocks out there that you could just, there's endless and endless amounts of shares of stock out there. There's only 21 million Bitcoin that are out there. When Bitcoin came out in 2009 and people put money into it and they bought 1,000 Bitcoins for 10 cents.
Yeah, they bought more, 10,000 Bitcoin. Remember that time when that guy bought
a pizza?
A pie of pizza for 10,000 Bitcoin?
Yeah,
he never thought it was going to be $74,000.
No.
Today's price?
Never. That's the most expensive pizza on the planet Earth ever, believe me.
For real.
So anyway, so that's why it's important to get into Bitcoin now. And even SAT, just stack your SATs.
Yeah, he said it.
20 million Bitcoins have been mined already. 21 million will only ever be mined. Yes, it will be probably 100 plus years from now, but still, supply and demand is what's going to drive the price of this up. This is why I think we're on the cutting edge. We're on the beginning of the internet, where America Online, where email was, where the World Wide Web was back in 1999 and 2000. Guys, get on, buy something, come down here, join us, and thank you for.
Hopefully, we see you guys next month.
Yeah, we're going to cover more as far as I'd like to cover more on cold wallets.
Yeah, we do that next time.
Do that. Get to know that a little bit better, and thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching
guys.
our content.
Stay tuned.
Appreciate it. And again, we're here every third Wednesday of the month from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. at BJ's Brewhouse in Teterboro, right across from Teterboro Airport. Thank you very much, guys.
Have a good night, guys.
Great meeting you, bud. Yeah. Thanks, man. Bye.